Ridgewell and Cascante, again, probably just butchered that name. He split them right in half, and it was, again, a perfect pass.
Yep.
And there was that. So, goal 3.
Yes.
Came off set piece, which so rarely happens with us.
Never happens with us.
Yeah. But this one, it was a fantastic strike by Michael Boxall.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to give credit to Francisco Calvo, because Calvo was outside of the box and probably a split second after the corner came in, he cuts in front of Ridgewell, and Ridgewell kind of turned himself away from the ball.
Yeah.
And so the ball just kind of skirted on through into the box and dropped right at Boxall's feet, and he had a perfect shot.
And that's what we talked about. We've talked about this, the plays that they're supposed to be doing on these set pieces. Obviously, that potentially be a play that they had been working on. But we had so many issues in the beginning of the season with we're just going to do a little kick to the guy and then try without doing any kind of play whatsoever. Yeah. And so now we're seeing what a play can do for a set piece.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a goal, man.
Yep. And it's some of those things that I kind of wonder. Calvo's been playing at left back, which I'd like to talk about later. Mm-hmm. And I kind of wonder, had he not been at left back, but at a center back position, would he have been in that same place to do that?
Yeah.
Because he was kind of off, maybe 25 yards out. Mm-hmm. So it kind of looked like he was playing for, a potential counter.
Yep.
And so I don't know if he had been in his normal position, would he have been there to do that? So there's that. But, I think, it's a sign that for whatever reason why this didn't happen earlier in the year, it's a sign that our players are understanding the tactics that they're supposed to be implementing.
Yeah, exactly.
And, Calvo didn't do anything. He literally just ran into the box, distracted a player.
That's all you have to do, though. Yeah. Just distract a player, get him off his game a little bit, and then pass it in. There you go.
Yep. So, we had 3 other chances that half. I think at the outset I said there was only 2, but now I'm looking at my notes. I forgot to mark one. Ibarra had a really great chance in the 12th minute. Shot it just wide. Then in the 2 chances in the 33rd minute. Again, it was, I think it was Miguel again, who, it was off the crossbar. Again, it was started by Darwin. Came in, drew some defense, passed it off to Schuler. Schuler got it into Ibarra, and Ibarra put it right off the post.
Yeah, I think I saw that one. I saw that one.
It was a burner, too.
It was. Yep.
Yeah. And then also, Calvo had a really good chance in that literally 20 seconds later.
Sure.
Where Schuler and him were doing a nice little exchange in the left side. And the angle was insane. If that would have gone in, it would have been impressive. But Clark had to make a save. So
yeah.
It was on the right path, but I don't think it wasn't terribly difficult for Clark.
Yeah. So we go into the half up 3-0. Right? So I started watching it at the end of this first half, and I'm going, this game is we're coasting. This is what we should be doing right now. And then the second half comes out, and the wheels start falling off the bus.
Yeah, we were completely flat. And obviously Portland actually started a little bit weaker team. Mm-hmm. Valeri didn't come out till the 73rd minute, I think it was. Yeah. So there's that. They had their key playmakers sitting on the bench. But, we came out flat-footed, and it's so typical of us. And this is the one thing that I do put squarely on Adrian Heath.
Yes.
Something has to be done with how he prepares the team when we're up.
When we have a lead, yeah.
I've seen recently how they've come out in the half or second half, I should say, where they need that urgency and it's there.
Yes.
So he can do that to a point, but for whatever reason, when we have a lead, there's an extra switch that he needs to turn on.
Yeah,
he just hasn't figured out.
Yeah, we talked about this before. We get this lead, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, shit, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Yeah.
And then we come out flat, and we're not making crisp passes anymore, and we're not trying to. It's almost like we're not trying to score anymore. We're kind of sitting back a little bit, and things just aren't kind of flowing like they were in the first half.
Yep.
And it's probably on Adrian Heath to come out and say, here's what you need to do, guys. Or maybe it comes to the point where Adrian needs to, if he sees a flat play in the first 10 minutes of the second half, maybe he needs to substitute somebody out right away.
Yeah, and
get somebody with more energy in there who's, trying to get in the starting lineup to kind of get some excitement going again.
And that's been my biggest complaint of Adrian Heath since he's come here last year is his substitutions are really pretty bizarre. I think that game, our first sub came in on maybe late 70s.
Yeah, it wasn't until late.
And again, last night was the same way. And you can just tell that that sense of his coaching is just a little weird.
Well, I think he's almost scared because he only has 3 subs to make.
Right.
And I think he gets scared that, oh, shit, if I make a sub, within 10 minutes after the start of the second half, I only got 2 more subs left. What happens if this happens and this happens and this happens and this happens? He's like looking at disaster protocol.
Right.
Instead of going, okay, if I make 1 sub now, maybe that player with more energy, more excitement, more, whatever, can lead us to a victory so I don't have to make those last 2 subs.
Yeah, I agree. And I think our injuries could be a big issue. Mm-hmm. We seem to have an injury almost every game. So that can really go into that disaster protocol.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I'm going to use a sub in the 50th minute, but what happens if so-and-so ends up going down in the 60th?
Again, you can't play that game. You can't play that game in sports.
No.
You can't play the what-if game in sports.
Right.
You have to just go for the win. You can't be thinking 5 steps away. Well, if this guy gets injured and this happens, then I got to... You can't do that. You have to go... You got to go for what's happening now.
Yeah, I agree.
So the wheels came off.
Yep.
I'm watching it. I'm getting pissed off because I'm like, I just started watching this. We're having a good time, and now all of a sudden we're just like, we're gonna lose this. We're gonna get tied, or we're gonna lose this damn game.
Right.
And then it's gonna be all over. And our next, couple podcasts at the end of the season are gonna be what could have been. These games are just playing out the season. Who gives a shit? What's going on? But they did pull it out.
They did. Barely. They did. The first goal in the 55th minute, you can't do anything about it. It was a corner. Mm-hmm. And Calvo headed it out. Pretty typical clearance.
Yep.
What do you do? And it fell directly to Powell's feet.
Yep.
The only complaint that I'd have here is Max and Schuler maybe could have pressured more.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, that shot was so good.
It was a good shot. And, what do you do on those? You're clearing the ball with a header.
Yeah. It's only going to go so far.
At some point, it's going to hit a guy right below his feet there, and he's going to hit a screamer, and it's going to go in. It's going to happen in games. There's not a lot you can do about those situations.
Yeah, they scored that goal, and I actually clapped.
Yeah,
the goal was fantastic.
It's a good goal.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
No.
I can't fault anyone. It's just the way it goes. And it was 3-1, so who cares?
Yeah.
We had some other chances too. 72nd minute, we had Quintero almost chipped Clark.
I saw that one, yes.
Which was would have been spectacular had it gone in.
It was. He had just a little too much on it.
Yep.
A little bit.
And it was literally right the corner of the post.
Yeah, it was. It was just like right there. Oh. That would be great.
Yeah, and that would have sealed it, obviously.
Yeah, it would have.
And we wouldn't even talk about the second goal.
No.
Because it would have been 4-2.
Exactly right.
But needless to say, it didn't go in. So we had a second goal. And now this one, again, this was prototypical Minnesota United because we had Max did everything right and pushing the ball out wide. And then Miller just kind of fell asleep. And he allowed, I'm forgetting who it was. He allowed, I don't even have it in my notes. He allowed the pass into the box to Blanco, and Blanco had a perfect shot because guess what? He was completely unmarked.
Unmarked, yep.
You have two center backs who were basically flat-footed.
Yep.
And, it is what that is. That was, again, prototypical Minnesota United.
At that point, it was the 78th minute.
Yep.
At that point, I'm on my couch going, we're going to lose this flipping game because we look like shit.
Okay.
Our Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing for the Loons comes out. Hey, there were Dr. Jekyll and this one now Mr. Hyde. I thought for sure we were done. And then to go into it, and we had was the Bob play in the 88th minute, which I watched, the whole elbow to the flipping neck thing, which I was pissed off about because I'm like, he's just trying to go for the ball, and the guy is kind of like this, and Bob's up here, and red card it, red card. There you go.
In my notes I have that I simply do not see intent.
No.
I mean, it's a head. For one, they head it.
Yep.
So it goes in the air.
Yep.
So they're going for another header.
Yep.
What's going to happen when you jump? Your arms don't stay pinned to your side.
Well, they're supposed to, I guess, in soccer.
Yeah. And already they just did a header, so the arms are out to begin with.
Yep.
And so, I don't know. I've watched it numerous times. I just don't see legitimate movement.
No.
They appealed the red card that stood, so clearly the league still thinks it was legit, but I don't know.
And for me, it's one of those plays where just let them play. I don't throw a yellow at them if you want to throw a yellow. Go throw a yellow, but don't throw a flipping red.
Yeah.
In the 88th minute of a 3-2 game.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
And what's worse is Valeri he's notorious for diving to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a very smart player. He saw an opportunity and he took advantage of it. Had he not fallen to the ground, I don't think it would have been anything.
No, it would have been anything. Might have been a foul.
Yeah.
But that's it. But you give him a red card, and then all of a sudden, oh, look, we're down a man now.
Yeah.
With 2 minutes and change left to play.
Yeah. And I think we ended up having 6 minutes of stoppage.
Yeah, it was a lot of stoppage.
Yeah. But as we said a few times, we managed to hold on to it.
Yeah.
It was very nervy last few minutes, that's for sure.
So not only did we lose Bob in this game,
right?
We lost Maximiano in this game.
Because again, he managed to accumulate. I don't know how.
I don't know how it works.
I mean, usually you see accumulations show up toward the end of the season, but he's actually been out now twice for accumulation.
Yeah, exactly right.
So he's a lone player, so you wonder if we're gonna sign him because there's supposedly an option.
Yeah.
But you have to wonder, do they want to deal with that?
I guess we'll see how he does through the end of the season, I would say.
Right, I mean, he'll be back.
Because losing Bob and losing Maximiano really screwed us for the game last night.
Right.
Because we didn't have
our number six.
And so with those two losses, even though we won this game last week, I'm going, oh shit. Next week, we're going to have a screwed up lineup because we know him as number 6.
Yep.
And what the hell are we going to do?
Well, and on top of that, Romario went out with an injury, which we didn't mention.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden now we're back to not having this left winger that has come out of nowhere.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, I definitely was not overly positive coming out.